Welcome back, Leanaholics. I'm your host, Dr. Luke. Today we're going to be talking about standard work, and I'm going to keep this video short because this is a topic that you could literally go on for hours. Standard work is critically important, and some of you in here are going to be in highly repeatable processes where you say, yeah, oh, absolutely, having the standard work, makes total sense. But there are other folks who deal in processes where they say, well, I'm unique and my process is unique and this and that. I'm going to tell you that both of you are in a situation where you must have standard work. Now, it's going to take some finessing beyond this video to talk about how you actually get the folks to say, I'm unique and I'm a senior software developer and I do it my way and this one does it that way and that one does it that way, and bringing them all together and coming to a consensus on 75% of the process overlaps, writing out the general standard, allowing for that flexibility in there. I'm going to hold that off for another video, but I'm just going to talk about standard work in general. Standard work is critically important if we're going to do things the same way. Now, we want to create a process that is consistent and predictable, right? Well, how do you do that? We have to be doing the work the same way. We can't have 8 people doing 8 different processes. This is the new process you're going to be implementing. So now write down step by step how exactly you expect this to be done. And this is done with a team. This isn't any one person. We all do this together to come up with this because we want to use a standard language, standard format, make sure that we're all working through these different process steps, step by step, writing out what needs to get done. Now, back to those senior software engineers, there is a point that where some processes you have to leave a little bit of flexibility in there, and that's okay as long as you understood that and there's a discussion, and during our training plan, we're talking about that type of training. Well, hey, our senior software engineers, we wrote down, the overarching steps, and here's how you get from A to Z. But in there, though, there's a couple of different paths that can be taken, and we understand that, and we don't want to stifle creativity and innovation, all these other things. But when we're dealing with a standard process, we want to make sure we're following a standard template to the maximum extent that is feasible and that is possible, and then allow for a little bit of creativity when and where you have to. It's okay, but whenever you're in a highly repeatable process, be strict about it. You want your folks to do the same thing the same way each and every time. When there's a lot of volatility in the process, or meaning, well, then you sit down with those senior software engineers and you actually hash out a plan and look for a process that will encapsulate or encompass nearly all that they do with that flexibility. And just have them focus. What we did is we had them focus on if you were to hire a new senior software engineer or promote somebody to senior software engineer, which of these processes, if you say you all 8 do it different, which one would you want them to follow if you're training them? Each one of them says, well, the process that I do. Okay, now let's think through this. What is the best possible process? And we had them all start on what's your step 1, what's your step 2, what's your step 3. Through that, getting them together, they actually came up with about 75% of the process actually was the same. And we did allow for that creativity, of course. I mean, I'm saying allowing, I don't own that company, I was just there coaching. But what we did is we managed to get them to a point of agreement and then leave a little bit of flexibility in there. At the end of the project, just make sure you're doing your standard work package, whatever it may be for your organization. My recommendations are work instructions, standard operating procedures, and a new process map, the one that reflects what you're doing right here and right now with the new implemented solution. Hope this helps standardize your new process. I'll see you in the classroom.